Africa TV Free Cup Studio Live 2021 GSL Super Tournament.
We're back, and it's time to go to the final best of 5. I don't know if this is going to be a close match. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it is.
Wow. Well, you sold me on it, Tasteless, because you always say that it's going to be an exciting close match.
Yeah, you know what?
And sometimes I sit there and I'm like, I don't know about that one, Tasteless.
No,
but
this time I'm coming in here.
I don't think this one is.
With a different tune. Look, I will be surprised if RagnaroK wins a game. I think Maru is too good. Now, Artos, on the break, you were talking about how you thought RagnaroK was going to win this and that you can't wait to tell everybody why.
Yeah, well, Zerg is OP is the problem.
That's right. Okay, got it.
Just because there's no Zerg players left doesn't mean the race doesn't have creep. So that's where I was going, Tasteless. No, it's pretty Maru favored. I don't think it'll be a 3-0, though. Like, RagnaroK is good. He's filled in a lot of his macro play. You know, he didn't have a good last season. If I am recalling correctly, he lost in Code A to Hurricane, who had a nice series against him. What can you say? It's you know, ZVP, it can be a little bit volatile. But yeah, I can see RagnaroK taking a map here for sure. And who knows, maybe just make roaches and Maru just like has
Maru's
PTSD and like freaks out and dies.
Oh, Ravagers!
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. It's going to be on Oxide to start things off. There's only one more spot in the round of 8. I just can't imagine Maru doesn't take it. We do have upsets, but I don't feel like Maru's normally the guy that gets upset, and not in this matchup, and not by this player.
Damn. You hate RagnaroK.
No, I quite like him, but I also, you know, I'm a man of science, Artosis.
I guess so.
Yes. No, look, I mean, I hope it's a close match. I just think Maru might be too good. We'll find out. We're actually jumping into the game right away. This is on Oxide. Maru vs. RagnaroK, Game 1.
Game starts. Team NV, Maru. Alpha X, RagnaroK.
Look at me, guys. I'm Artosis. Ready? Cool, dude.
You're right. I am like that. Oh, man. Look at 17-2 against RagnaroK in Legacy of the Void.
No, Dan was right at the start. RagnaroK's going to win one game.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, that's.
Who knows? He actually might. He actually might.
No, I think he'll take a map. Yeah, it's RagnaroK. Like for most of his history, he's been a very, very aggro Zerg overall. He's had a lot of cheese builds over the years, and he was just kind of like actually kind of similar to how Impact was playing for a long time.
Oh yeah.
But he filled in his macro play really heavily in the last year and a half, I would say. And he had a little spurt there where he was starting to look like one of the better Zergs in the world. But he has fallen off a little bit since then, in my opinion. Like, he definitely gained some ground for a little bit, but not as much anymore. So I'm not exactly sure where to put him right now for his ZVT, but yeah, I think he can take a map, Tasteless.
I mean, that would be cool if he did. I do want to point out, I mean, he's gotten definitely an upgraded late game, but I do struggle to recall a lot of his big successes in late game, if that makes sense. Like, historically, he has, you're right, been kind of taking fights early on. Maru, look, I mean, he's been consistently the leader. He is oftentimes called the fourth race. But really, he's been showing kind of the power of Terran. A little bit different from TY, who I think tactically and strategically was so sound and brilliant. Maru just sort of so fast, so good. Really so well versed in all the styles of Terran.
He's a quicker player than TY.
Yeah,
And
well, there's a lot of games where he just ends up keeping up with the Zerg and bases and wins that way,
Yeah,
which is sort of an almost nonsensical way to win games. It usually means it's such a mismatch.
Yeah.
And it oftentimes is with Maru and whoever he's playing, is he's basically just sort of doing everything faster and kind of outgrows them and comes out on top.
Well, it's I think that this is one of the more exciting things. You just kind of made me think of it. It's not exactly what you were just talking about, but one of the more exciting things about super high-level StarCraft is that no one can do everything, really. I guess, like, you get players like Maru or, like, you know, Cyril or Rain or, like, these Rogue who come really close, but, like, they all have different flavors to them, right? Like, you mentioned with TY, like, he's so, you know, strategically and tactically brilliant in the way he plays. But you look at Maru and it's like, oh, his multitasking is a bit better, he's a bit quicker, right? And so while TY might technically have better positioning at times, it's like the overall speed maybe wins out for Maru, and that's why he's a bit more successful. Not much more, but a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of, I think, what is so beautiful. If everyone just looked the same at this level, that would be a really sad thing.
No, it's cool to see how people can express themselves. And
yeah, you can cover up the names and everything, and you can figure out which one's ByuN and which one's Maru and which one's TY and which one's Innovation.
Is he going to see the Armory? Or as I like to call it, the Armaru?
Well, he's definitely not going to see the Armory. There's not even a chance.
Oh, I thought the Army was actually in the main, excuse me. So
well,
immediately we have a push out.
It's a fusion
here.
core is why he's not going to see it.
I'm sorry. I thought it was...
Oh, he has an Armory, too.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute, am I mad?
What?
So it's actually going to be a Hellbat push, and guess
Damn.
what, pro gamers? We usually say it doesn't work, but maybe it does because Maru's doing it.
I bet you it doesn't.
I bet you it doesn't. You're like, yeah. Oh, maybe it does. Oh, maybe it doesn't.
Hold on, though. He did kill a queen and some wings. Is he going to get? He might get a second queen here, Tasteless.
Wow.
The best Terran ever in the history of the world by far.
Still got.
Did he get
queen.
the second queen? He
No,
didn't.
He didn't. Too bad.
But Tasteless, he did get like 8 Zerglings, and he also got a queen.
Well, losing that one queen will certainly make this battle cruiser a greater threat.
Yeah, I guess he had to use some transfusions, but like, guys.
Maybe there's something too burning through the transfusions. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a little bit of something to it, but the Hellbat pushes suck. They're terrible.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man. We see them so often, and
Maru can't make them work.
it just isn't that good, man. I don't get it.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy a trumpet, and I'm gonna bring it in every time that there is a Hellbat push. Instead of speaking, I'm gonna blow into the trumpet as hard as I can.
I think
People would probably prefer that at this point.
I think
because
you need
this is
a kazoo.
such a broken record thing. Because every Hellbat push in GSL in the last 3 years has failed. All of them. Garbage. Garbage.
Just not good,
cases.
man. All right, targeting down these drones. He did end up warping in over a spore crawler.
Yeah.
But again, you know, this is the threat of the battlecruiser. 8 drones killed, the Queen's doing damage, but of course the battlecruiser gets away.
Yeah.
Even though that Overlord kind of camouflaged over the trees.
Battlecruiser attacks on its own. Another armory coming up right now.
What about a second Hellbat push?
Oh, dude, that is... Here's the big brain play.
This is 5 head.
Well, he's got some banelings in there, so that's not dodgeable. Yamato on the way. It is a mech follow-up, and the Spire is coming. So this will be interesting to see from RagnaroK if he goes into Corruptor or he tries the Mutalisk play. It's like we were talking about before. People generally haven't been successful with the Mutalisk play against it. But obviously, if you're going Corruptor, it's not always the best feeling to be making, you know, 8, 9, 10 Corruptors against a mech player.
Most attacking units you make, you can kind of combo them with other stuff and develop on your side. But yeah, Corruptors are always sort of funny units in that they don't have much of a place unless they're directly attacking something strong with air.
Now it is Mutas. I'm excited to see this. So I've always, like we were talking about before, right? Like it seems like the Mutas can work, it's just people haven't really made it work yet.
Right. Oh! Those Bane's doing better than I expected.
The ramp, didn't quite see him. Gets some decent connections, and now with the Mutas out, of course the Hellions have to get out of here. Now, eBay is not even done yet, but it seems like the Hellions are going to buy him enough time to get that done.
Oh, man, there's a lot of queens over here. I think the battlecruisers have to just back off.
They're about to have Yamato, so they can pick off a couple.
Just over this little plateau here. Yamato about 5 seconds left, like Artosa said. Air weapons, or air attack, I should say, coming here for the Zerg. And, you know, this is Maru meching behind this, which is what we tend to see nowadays from the BC play.
Yeah.
And Maru may be the very best at this style here. I mean, I don't know if it's his best style, but I think when we see Maru do it, he is the better player out of all the other Terrans.
He is very good at mech, yeah. I wonder who's actually the best at it right now.
So these mutas have come in here, and look, they've taken out some Cyclones, but it seems like the other attacking units have basically bought enough time.
It's interesting to me, by the way, that he brought the 2 BCs home, used the Yamatos on the mutas, and now is going back out. Obviously, you want to send them out so you can teleport them back, but just the fact that that's how he chose to utilize the Yamatos as opposed to on the Queens. Kind of cool. All right, some Corruptors being added in right now. So it seems like the mutas were it was just like one flock of them to get some damage done. And I think they've done all right. Look at RagnaroK here. He's got really good creep spread. He's up to 94 worker stasis. And he's actually going melee, carapace, baneling speed. That is a different type of choice.
Some Banes come down here.
You know,
these mutas coming around. Go ahead, Arto.
There's a lot of different things that we end up seeing against mech and against BC openers. But yeah, Ling Bane is a very rare one. There's been like a lot of discussion and arguments back when this was actually very popular as to whether or not this was even usable. And it seems like it was usable, but not maybe it's definitely not the easiest thing to do.
Ooh, almost gets that one. And that's interesting. I guess mutas with a couple Corruptors, suddenly the battlecruisers really have to respect the air threat. And now you can basically mass up a pretty strong ground army. And look here, he's going to go for Hydras.
Oh, that's
which is an
too.
interesting move. I mean, Hydras are obviously not bad with massive amounts of Lings behind them and Banes.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not
sure
what to think about this composition.
But Zerg expands again here at 9 o'clock.
This is a really interesting game.
Now, Zerg has enough of the map. It's getting a little bit scary. In fact, there's really no more bases Zerg can realistically take that aren't sort of defaulting to the Terran side of the map. This map organically splits itself diagonally from top left to bottom right. Slight tilt in there, but you guys see it.
You're the only one that sees that.
I'm the only one that sees the maps these ways. So,
oh, we went up to 4 BCs, by the way.
Yeah.
Used to 3, but that's
this
cool.
seems to be the number. Maybe there's a reason like the Corruptors are here now, so you want to throw another one in.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Well, the Yamato's definitely going to continue to give some value. Hellions being pushed back. Blue Flame about halfway done. Hive is coming up. Just kind of upgrades all over the place. Ooh, just gets that out.
Yeah, I mean, he's chipping away at these beauties here. Does do some damage and then manages to save it at the last second. Of course, you can just repair him over here, which is why this is so strong. You're getting such value out of the battle cruisers. I mean, Terran is basically sitting back and powering up. It's going to be time to attack out in a moment, though.
He's made like 50 Banes now.
Yeah.
Over 90 drones against 87 SUVs. This is such an interesting game. I'm really digging this right now. Okay, scans and sees, it's a lot of Banelings.
Terran's now taken the base here at 3 o'clock. Zerg is expanding into the Terran's territory in the upper left. I don't know how quickly Maru's going to realize that, but keep in mind, if Terran just sits and runs the clock and can poke out that top left base, Zerg will run out of funding first. Especially if Banelings do not trade effectively.
Yeah, that's a good point. And against mass mech, it doesn't seem like they would. So you might be looking for a tempo victory, but tempo victories are weak against slowing it down, like you mentioned. Huh. I think it's time for RagnaroK to shift focus to the entire other side of the map. Like, if you're going to play like this, oh my god.
I don't think this is going to work.
No.
I mean, there's just so many good units against Banes. And even if you go for the command center, how does this help you? You're like, oh no, it's 400 minerals.
So he gets 10 SCVs and a planetary for 50 Banes and whatever else died there.
This is one of the things where I think the theory is wrong here for RagnaroK. Like, when you're way ahead of a Terran, and you've got, like, you're like on Nautilus or something, and you have so much of the map that you keep just taking bases, and they have one base they're barely hanging on to, that's when you just throw all your Banes on there and go back and suck up more resources. Now I think he's given an actual opportunity here for Terran to push out here to the bottom right.
Well, I think that this was especially a poor choice because Maru basically brought all of his units to bear right there, and then RagnaroK was like, sure, I'll attack in. He had other bases that were literally completely, like the leftermost base at 12 has a turret at it. That's its defense, one turret. Like 3 Banelings up there would have done as much damage as all 50 down there. So I think that he's not utilizing his mobility against the immobility of the mech army.
And now we're gonna have another head-to-head fight. Some Vipers can come in here and actually with really nice blinding clouds make these tanks pretty useless.
Yeah.
And suddenly kind of an insane victory here for RagnaroK. Keep in mind, RagnaroK still has the upper left. He's not mining from it yet, though.
Look at this, having to come out and repair these BCs. The Thor's fighting against them as well, the Corruptors.
Yeah,
so it looks like the Corruptors will be beaten there. Pushed back.
Yeah, quite a loss there. Only 3 Corruptors get away. Make it, I think he might only be 1 then. Nope.
A few more Corruptors being made now. Transfusions going up. More Siege Tanks and Hellions on the way.
Now, the problem for Terran is that this isn't your normal infantry army. It's not mobile. You can't be dropping everywhere. It's sort of this iron fortress of Terran defense that, I mean, as far as I can tell, I don't know that he has to do much more killing. He does need to take care of this base in the upper left. It doesn't seem like he's actually privy to the information here. It's a Zerg expanding right under his nose.
Yeah, anything you can suck up from that location is very useful.
Yeah, that'll go permanently into the coffers for the Zerg and maybe get him some value, but I think that fact that this is spotted should be an easy game here for the Terran. Okay, nice surround here. These Lings going to get some real value. Just completely wiping out these Thors. Kind of surprised to even see them out there.
Sloppy there. Oh! 22 kills. Oh. All right, clears this out. Very nice.
See the hell that push works. We're not so bad after all, T-Doses.
3 more BCs actually being added in.
I like the second planetary here.
Yeah, that's always cool. And I like the addition of more BCs.
Is that an orbital? I'm sorry. It's an orbital making.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh. Ooh. All right, now, part of me thinks it's okay to just throw away Hellions here.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got 9 Broodlords coming.
Yeah, there's going to be, I believe, 5 BCs. And he has some
do you want
mines,
ghosts
some
here with
Thors.
this, or is this just because you're not even going bio, you just try to use the Yamato or something to get him?
That's a good question. Definitely Ghost Mech is a thing. So I think it would be fine to add ghosts in. You don't necessarily need the upgrades. Just, you know, Snipe is going to be very useful. EMP might become very useful. You also sometimes see people throwing Vikings with mech. That was a very Gumiho-esque style.
You could see Maru really playing the map. I mean, problem is Zergs expand ahead of the Terran. That's how these games naturally occur. But if the Terran, if there's not that many expansions on this map, and in this case there's not, Terran can kind of just sit back and defend, and then eventually Zerg is going to run out of money on this side of the map. Terran will be mining out the few resources left on his side.
Look at this, getting as much value as he can, throwing out those Yamatos, and just going to teleport out. Oh my god.
Now these battle cruisers are getting such value. In fact, they're winning that fight, which is kind of funny. Yeah. It's like, oh, I guess this is way
It's like killing all the Vipers, the anti-air, the drones, the Corruptors, and the Hydras. Maybe the Hatchery as well.
More Corruptors coming up.
Just a handful of these things. Oh my god, they just did so much there. Beautifully done. They're still killing all the anti-air.
Yeah. He's microing beautifully. Every time it gets slow, he just pulls it away. And these are all getting repaired, by the way, guys.
You had, oh my gosh, if I was RagnaroK.
Oh, I'd be so salty. And this is, again, Maru
That's
really...
a table punch moment right there.
Oh, yeah. So frustrating. He gets away. And you can see now he's starting to realize, oh, man, he's trading so efficiently. I almost have to overdo my spores. But then maybe he doesn't attack you there.
Yeah, maybe. A lot more Corruptors added in now, 18. 9 Broodlords, still very heavy on drones. Tons of creep spread. Very hard for Maru to truly attack, which I think is, of course, a big part of why we have so many BCs out. He's at 9. I think this is a situation where you really need to get Neural.
I agree.
I think that is probably the #1 thing. Neural, and Fungal as well, of course. Fungal is going to be amazing here. But you need to secure kills on BCs, or they're just going to outvalue you forever. Now, once you get to the critical mass of Corruptors, I don't know the exact number, but you can kill BCs before they can teleport. And you definitely want to get there at this point that there's 9 out.
Yeah, but again, these BCs have paid for themselves in dividends,
Yes,
man.
yes.
It's insane.
Look at the bank on Maru. It's so large. Look, he actually gets away immediately. Oh my God, what a teleport. What a teleport.
And look, he's going to target down every single one, and that's apparently how you deal with Broodlords. And look, he can actually fly over the safety of the Thors.
So good. Yeah, well, he has to fight here, but the Corruptors, okay, they pick off a few and decide to turn around. The Thors dealing so much free damage there.
That 9 is now a 6, but 6 is still a lot of battlecruisers doing damage. Takes his base out, and keep in mind that there's not a lot of mining potential left here for Zerg with what he has.
And actually getting some lings on top of those Thors, which is super helpful while he continues to pick off the battlecruisers. And I think he's going to end up killing all of them here. So that was about some good moves from RagnaroK now.
I don't know, man. I feel like Terran is playing way too well here. I mean, this is...
I definitely agree with that.
He's going to finally kill the battlecruisers, but I mean, this has been doing damage the whole time. There's still plenty of tanks. I'm sure a ton of lings are going to come out here and try to take a fight, but like... Look, these patches are almost mined out. Kind of surprised he's even pushing in here. I guess he doesn't care where his supply goes.
Maru's still with a pretty significant bank, remaxing immediately, getting like every upgrade. High sec auto tracking, Liberator range, you name it, he's getting it.
And even trading these tanks actually really well here. Flyer Carapace 2's done. But already Maru's mustered up another army now. It's 135 supply here. That's it, GG. Okay, I was gonna say, I don't know how much more of that we were gonna cast, but it's pretty clear like Maru's just eons ahead. Anytime Zerg tries to expand from that point on, Maru just waits, maybe even waits for the hatchery to finish, comes out and kills it, and then goes back.
Yeah, the BC play was really, really great. I think that RagnaroK, though, when he attacked with the 50 Banes plus the rest of his army into everything Maru had in a defensive mech position, when there was literally, he could have attacked anywhere else and done massive damage.
Yeah.
It was the worst trade you're going to see in Super Tournament was that moment. So he needs to clean that up if he plays against mech again. You don't have to attack where all of his tanks are.
We're going to go to 2,000 atmospheres for Game 2. Maru up 1-0, but it was a long and dramatic fight. Let's see what happens as they play again.
Game starts. Team NV, Maru. Alpha X, RagnaroK.
Now in this game, I don't think we can have a replication of the last game. I don't think so. I think that last map that we had, there's so few bases, it's a little bit tighter. You really can manage the left side and the right side with mech.
Yeah.
And I think basically he went battlecruisers harassed and then just let the Zerg take his side and say, that's fine. I'm building up over here and I'm in this for the long run.
Yeah.
And even with mules, I don't need to expand as fast as you. I don't need to mine out the map as fast as you do. And it's a good way to exploit that map because Zergs do end up, they just need more bases in the long run to win a game. Which makes it a burden for the other side because they have to attack all these locations. And obviously Zerg can canvas the map with creep, but then on a map like that, you just kind of wait it out. And we could see very clearly, RagnaroK had the wrong answer to go for Broodlords against battle cruisers. That's not the answer. You just TP on top of them and then gun them all down with the Yamato cannon.
Yeah. Well, there was definitely some mistakes there. Also, I think Maru kind of slipped in the extra BCs. It's actually very common to stop at 3 battle cruisers when you're going into mech. Because if you do a dedicated, like the last really well done pro level mass battle cruiser game was probably Special versus Serral in WCS finals, but since then people have gotten good enough with infestors that you can't go mass BC because they just counter so hard. Fungals, you know, neurals, like you can destroy. But like he was sitting on 3 for a bit and then he slipped a bunch more in and he just devastated one of the bases and traded so efficiently, and there was like no infestor upgrades at all for RagnaroK right then. Definitely some strategic errors, I would say, from RagnaroK there.
Now, I do wonder if RagnaroK may want to angle for a shorter game. You know, you can Nidus, there's a lot of other cheeses you can do.
Maybe.
But then again, that last game really isn't how a late game's supposed to look TVZ. Right?
No, certainly not. That's even just a game against mech is not supposed to look like that. It's not supposed to be mass banelings running into tanks, and like if they have lots of battle cruisers, you're supposed to get into infestors. There was really no cost efficiency happening on RagnaroK's side whatsoever, and you have to invest in cost efficiency against mech. You need these spellcasters. You need to get value out of them. Battle cruiser again. I'm not surprised. It's a good map for it. We talked about this a little bit in Dream series, right? Where you have that big empty airspace behind the main and natural. The BCs are just they're gonna get a lot of value here. It's such an easy place to run them away to.
Let's see if it's gonna be mech with BCs or if it's gonna be something else, because you know BC is just one branch that starts out, but there's a lot of ways you could still play the game from there.
Now he went for the Viking first to clear out the Overlord that snuck into his back area. So that's very smart to hide the fact that he's going BC. Baneling Nest on the way.
Do we have a layer here? Don't see one yet. Hellions coming up. Zerg's droning pretty heavily, but I think there's enough to basically try to fight this away.
Yeah, he's not in any trouble as of yet. Like you have your way to micro your queens. You'll take some damage when the first BC comes in because you don't know what's coming. Viking continuing to go around a little bit. Trying to pick off an Overlord. Has to turn around though. And 2 more gases, so it is going to be mech as the follow-up. Over on RagnaroK's side, right? He's got the Baneling Nest. Let's see. Yeah, the layer's going to finish probably right before BC gets over there, and then we should probably see a Spire go down right away. So he might kind of go into that same type of unit comp that you actually want against Bioplay. And Maru, like, just by making the Viking and killing off those Overlords, and he had a few Marines out and everything, RagnaroK has no idea that this is BC, nor that this is mech.
Yeah, I think he showed just enough to mislead him. Very good red herrings that he kind of threw out there.
And there's the jump. The Spire has already started, so now RagnaroK knows.
This is rough. Already 5 drones have been killed. He backs away from the Queens. Here come the Hellions. Ooh. I don't know that RagnaroK's ready for this. Oh, Bane's like just connecting beautifully. Shuts that down. 7 drone kills.
Clean that right up. 5 of those were for the BC, though, so the Hellions not doing nearly as well.
No. And now he's going to come into another location. Just any drones he can kill, he'll take.
Yeah, has to back up for now. Of course, he can wait there for quite some time. Yamato on the way. Might wait for the second BC to warp in here and then join the fight right on top of these queens. Double Cyclone coming up. Spire going to be finishing. I think we're going to see Mutas again. His opening with the Mutas in the previous game was very good. He got, what, like 10 SCVs, forced the turrets, forced the BCs to kind of sit back a little bit longer. I thought it was really high quality what he did.
I wonder if he's going to go just for a long game again here. I really thought he wouldn't.
Well, Maru's probably none too happy losing to Rogue the way he did. And you know one good way to not lose to Master Roach, Ravager?
Just, yeah, play this very...
BCs and go mech.
Yeah, just play a very defensive style.
He will never let anyone hurt him like that again.
So more Mutas coming out. Now, are they going to just chase this BC over here in the top right until it has to TP out? We've got Hellions coming in here to poke. Might draw the Mutas away.
Optics online. Let's go. SCV ready. Viewed up, ready to go.
So the Mutas are just going to come down here now, over by 6 o'clock. I think there's a Thor there. That's what I thought. I thought that's what I saw.
I definitely see a couple Cyclones running around. Gonna get some lock-ons and push those back for now while he's making his turrets. Seems like the Muta's not doing anywhere near as much as the last time.
No, not at all, really. But he's continuing to make them. Thing is, I don't really feel
want
like
some damage out of him, right?
Yeah, I wonder what the number is to stop at a moment like this.
I think he'll probably fly around with about how many he's about to have, and then maybe do that Corruptor jump in again as well. That seemed to, again, all that stuff seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah.
He's going for the melee attack once again, which tells us he probably does want to go for Ling Bane. We'll see if he goes Baneling speed again. Wouldn't mind to see him go for Infestors with this, though, as opposed to just mass Baneling. I think with Fungal, you can, you know, the Fungal Ling Bane composition is going to fare a bit better than just making 50 Banes. You can actually lock things down and get the surrounds and get the connections.
Yeah, I think the Baneling play, especially on the planetary as well, was a weird play back there. But I think he can make the adjustments more easily here. He's already experienced this once with Maru.
3 Thors being made, another BC as well. Roach Warren and Infestation Pit. I really want to see not just the Hive, but some Infestors come out. I think that's really important to see from RagnaroK.
I think Infestors is a much better way, but he's made so many Mutas here. Does he want to take a fight? He's got to be careful. If he gets under a Thor, he's going to get punished so heavily.
Yeah, Thors are the real scary thing.
Yeah.
You can actually kill off some Cyclones and some... Even
Thors
the BCs
against Mutas are like these long-distance Archons or something.
Yeah. It's pretty painful to see.
So he's invested a lot of gas into these Mutas. We don't see any value yet, though.
No. They don't morph into anything else. He's still making Mutas. That's...
Well, I guess we're going to see when he maxes out. I think he's going to dump everything into Banes. He's going to just fly in. I think try to just...
Yeah. He's going to have a surprisingly large amount of Mutas.
I guess sledgehammer his way into whatever position he wants to get in and just try to end the game there.
Is this Ogre Zerg Gamer?
This is something like that. Ogre Zerg Gamer, perhaps. Perhaps a different type of animal. This is maybe Cyclops Zerg Gamer.
Cyclops Zerg Gamer. He's only got one eye.
One-eyed
sure.
Zerg, you know.
Yeah.
3 fingers on his hands. And just only Banes and Mutas.
All right, coming in and actually trying to fight the BCs.
He's got one eye. He's like, where are you?
He's got so many Mutas right now, Tasteless. A lot of turrets being added on. Has Lings, has Banes. This is an interesting game once again. Like I'm really enjoying these strange positions. This is like candy for my brain right now. I'm just like watching. It's like, what are you gonna do, RagnaroK? I think you're dead. Like, let's see.
Well, I don't think he's drawn this game out to a point where it's that good for him. I mean, he's got a lot of the map, but I feel like this Unicomp is very scary.
Oh. He's going and he's getting an Ultralisk Cavern. Now, Ultras actually can fight against Thors, right? They do great against Hellions. Huh. This could be like a very large and dramatic attack into a tech switch. Right? That's something that can work against mech, where like you do a big attack and then you see what's left over for mech and you counter it super hard. Right?
Yeah.
Like if the Thors end up winning but he's killed everything else off, maybe you just make a bunch of Ultra Ling.
Okay, flyer attack is done. Is this the moment where we're going to have the actual attack? I mean, we've seen Zerg build up to this. I'm just waiting for something to actually happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was dead wrong, by the way, about the direction this game could go in. It's the same thing again. Split map.
But RagnaroK's playing it differently.
Oh, on the hatch. Look at that.
He does not even care about the sport at all. Just kills it. All right,
this.
time to zoop out.
Nice. Oh, we get the zoom in.
Ooh, that is a good ability. 5 more turrets being made. He just keeps making turrets.
Yeah, well, it turns out they don't cost supply.
Oh my god.
Does the turret actually have a little man in it?
The man in the missile turret? Yeah.
It's in StarCraft 2, it's there too?
Yeah.
The
Who would
supplyless
drive
man?
it? Yeah, the supply-less man.
Who would constantly have it rotating to the clockwise? So again, this map, a little bit bigger actually, although the scenario looks similar, it is bigger. It's a little bit harder for Terran to manage all angles of this.
This is such a strange game. Both of them getting massive banks because there's not much actual fighting occurring. Like every upgrade on Earth is being gotten right now from RagnaroK. He's definitely going to be ready to remax on something. In the meantime, Maru making 5 CCs at a time.
BC is going to come up again.
I want to
see it just Yamato cannon down the hatchery.
Yeah, why not?
And he'll eventually just push out to the right side and maybe take out those bases there as well. We're getting to the point where gas and minerals are banking up very high. Zerg does have a lead, but Terran's not too far behind.
Well, whenever they have a fight, it's going to be efficient for Terran.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see the unit tab right now pretty badly, honestly.
Oh! Gets one.
Right,
Yeah, Terran's just trading beautifully here. This is the underwater map where you kill them and they float up.
It's funny that nothing moves differently, though.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Tastes, but I'm just as fast underwater as on ground.
That's exactly what it looks like when I'm underwater until I get blown up. Okay, another big fight underneath these Thors. They do a good job. Their damage was, the output was fast enough that basically most of the mutas survived.
Blue Flame Hellions coming up, wiping out some of these drones. Oh, flying over some mines here.
Yeah, very good mine connections there.
This will fly out, though. It really feels like Maru is the one making problems.
It just seems like with all these fights that are happening here, it's not they're not fights that the Terran is getting behind in any way, right? Let's see how these Banes connect. Again, Banes not really connecting on their targets. If Banes don't kill anything or add to the damage that did kill something, you've lost resources in the long run. You traded it efficiently.
It's very often the case with Banes.
3-3 is done right now for vehicles.
All right, turns with the Mass Corruptor Muta to take out the VCs, but they do jump away. Muta's clearing out the rest of the Thors that were in this battle.
Maru remaking. Blinks, teleports away as well.
Yeah, rolling in now. It doesn't really have Mutas left, so the Corruptor's just diving over everything to try to kill these BCs. And, I mean, they will end up killing them. Going to be a bit costly. All the Banelings rolled in at the same time and ended up, like, connecting against Thors.
Wow, you can really see what SCVs can do with repair there.
Yeah. Okay, both players over 80 workers. Some Ultras being added in now.
Such a different ZVT than what we had with Dream and RagnaroK.
Yeah. Now we can see the Ultras actually put some real damage out. Queen's falling them for some transfuses. We don't see those transfuses, though. Does have to end up running. Don't forget, Thors do really big single target damage as well, so they can fight Ultras. But Ultras do good damage against Thors as well.
Okay, so how much of the resources in the top left and the 2 lower right bases have actually been soaked up?
I think very little.
Yeah, because it seems like they're almost more like placeholders here. By the way, Greater Spire is going to finish. I don't know if we're going to have another situation where battle cruisers are going to be Yamatoing down Brood Lords. Granted, there's not as many battle cruisers this time around.
The Ultras having a little bit of a hard time. The Siege Tank in the back definitely adding a ton of damage there. Well, that one Ultra looked like it was running away, but it was already dead and it didn't know it. A lot of damage being put down onto RagnaroK here. He does not have a mineral bank anymore.
That's true. And that's how it, you can kind of divine where this game is going to be going here. Is that the minerals are getting very low. You can get a lot of stuff with gas. Whoa, we went through a corpse of the Ultras.
We went through the head of a corruptor is what that was.
That was what that was?
Yeah.
I feel like I was Sonic jumping through one of those little rings right now.
It's the auto turret saving the planetary. Okay.
Okay, so there's still a high amount of minerals and gas here for Maru. Now, I would imagine all he has to do is make Hellbats to kill the Lings and keep these Thors alive.
Yeah, because you really do need the Lings with the Ultras to fight against the Thors. They screw up the AI, and they add a ton of damage. It's like just Ultras alone don't beat a whole lot.
We're watching a Gundam fight right now.
Quite a few Gundams, in fact. Comes out with those Lings, and Ultras does clear out the rest of the Thors.
I can't believe we went through a Corruptor's skull back there.
It was a good catch.
But look at the supply difference, 191 to 131. So not only is Zerg hurting economically, but he can't rebuild the way that Terran can. Now Terran's minerals are down, but we're maxed out. That's the big difference here.
There's still a good amount of workers.
Not a lot of drones mining in the top left, Artosis.
No, there's not.
And now the Hellbats are here with the rest of the group. And it's going to be the robots versus the
Kaiju. Jaegers versus Kaiju.
That's right. These are the Jaegers. They tried building the walls. That was the early part of the game as Terran. That didn't work. They have to use the robots to fight the Kaijus. And the thing is, the Hellbats are basically just chewing through the Lings, and then the Jaegers shoot down. You know, these are like tier 2 Kaijus right now.
Yeah, no, these ones are weaker ones. You don't need the nuke against these.
Just to be clear, the Kaijus were dinosaurs. Remember that part?
Yeah,
that part of the movie out there. They're like, by the way, they're dinosaurs. I'm like, oh, what? They just like keep moving on. I'm like, did you say they're dinosaurs?
They were dinosaurs.
They were, yeah.
That's right. Weaker ones.
Weaker dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, weaker Kaijus were dinosaurs. They used the big guns at the end.
Maru, the only guy that can pilot a Jaeger without needing a co-pilot.
Well, RagnaroK, it was an interesting idea he had to mass mutas, not do anything with them, go Ling Bane for a bit. We, again, don't really see the utilization of Infestors all that much. We saw no Swarm Hosts. We saw no Roaches. We saw Ravagers as like a last-ditch effort. The Ultras, I actually didn't mind the idea, but he was having a lot of engagements where it's like 4 Ultras running into 8 Thors, and it's like, you need to still be Zerg and have a lot of other units there too. Ultras don't want to fight alone.
I think RagnaroK was a bit lost at sea there. He didn't seem to really know what he's supposed to do against that. I think that's why he kept making mutas and tried to Cyclops Zerg gamer him.
Yeah, he tried to. Out. He got an arrow to the eye, unfortunately.
Yes.
And that does like so much extra damage.
That is very strong against Cyclops.
It's so strong.
Yes. All right, so let's go to Romanticide. Is Maru going to keep this up? Maybe, man. I don't know. He is very much going for the Turtle Terran approach and kind of making the Zerg figure it out. And guess what? This Zerg has not been able to figure it out yet.
No. Do you think Maru will do it again on Romanticide?
I think he's going to win again. He could do it on Romanticide. I think this is a map that you could do it on.
I don't think he's going to go mech here. I have a feeling.
Okay, well, guys, Artosis has a feeling.
Proxy racks time.
Let's go.
Game starts. Team NV, Maru.
I guess not.
Alpha X, RagnaroK.
So I think if I look at this map correctly, might not be as easy as map 1, but I think you can just go mech and kind of play Risk. I guess is the closest thing I could say to what that game is like, is you just sort of sit on areas and make them attack into you. In this case, Maru making all of his Terran command centers on Australia. The most OP move in the game of Risk. The Zerg player with his horses and cannons trying to attack in, but not getting a good dice roll, and ultimately realizing he doesn't like board games. And they're not as good as real-time strategy games.
That's for sure. Well, the way RagnaroK has been playing, I guess you can keep going mech. The only thing that worries me is if he goes mech here, and then we saw a more standard approach to fighting the mech, like a swarm host styled approach. I look at this map, I'm like, yeah, that would be pretty good here against mech, I think. There's enough little terrain changes, minerals in the way, little edges of the map he could utilize. I don't know, I guess we'll see what Maru wants to do, because he really gets to dictate that aspect of it. There's no way that RagnaroK can force him to go mech.
No.
And apparently
there's
no way for Maru to force RagnaroK to make roaches.
Yeah, there's no moment where Maru goes, no, and just starts making factories.
Damn it!
Ah,
I guess I have to go mech.
I gotta just make mechanical units.
That is a funny thing.
Yeah.
Because with Terran, it's like you have two completely different unit compositions that you can play against any race.
Yeah.
But no one can make you do it. You can just do whichever one you want every game. That's completely up to you.
So we don't know if it's mech again here yet, but...
Yeah, we don't see a sinking gas yet. It could be a third CC.
Can you 3CC into mech? Not really, right? I don't think we see it, but
you could.
I mean, could you do it and actually win a GSL match, or is it just like?
I think that you could. It wouldn't be a BC
can you only
opener,
make depots until you lose the game?
Yeah,
I said depots.
Depots. Probably not. That would be pretty suspicious, actually.
Yeah.
You'd probably get in trouble for that. Okay, so it is the 3CC build. So he's switching up a little bit.
He's going for the people that pilot the mechanical units. Just to be clear.
I wish they were just robots.
He's making kaiju pilots. Or Jaeger pilots, sorry.
Yeah.
Did you see Pacific Rim 2?
I actually haven't seen it.
I got like 10 minutes in. Actually, it was so stupid I had to turn it off.
My wife bought me like the DVD because
we loved the first Pacific Rim.
Amazing.
We've both seen that a couple times. Did you see the new Kong vs. Godzilla movie?
No.
It might be the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life is watching that movie.
Oh my God. It was that bad, huh?
It's so bad and dumb. And it's not even like good dumb. I'm just like, oh, this is just awful. Like they should have just gotten together and said, let's not do this.
I like that idea. You know what is something that baffles my mind?
What?
Is like the day after, like for instance, the new Mortal Kombat movie came out. And the day after it came out, every person I follow on Twitter is like, I just watched a Mortal Kombat movie. It was so bad. And it's like, guys, I knew it was going to be bad, so I didn't watch it.
But I want to
How far ahead of the curve am I? Like, why is everyone watching terrible? Why did you watch Kong vs. Godzilla?
It was free on HBO.
That's why? That's a reason to do something? Because it's free?
Well, I was drinking that night. I was like, well, I'm going to have alcohol. And then I just ended up yelling at my TV for like 2 hours. I'm like...
That's a more reasonable reason.
Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't like...
It was free and you had
I'm like, Kong vs. Godzilla's on. Let me turn off my phone so I can give this all of my attention.
Okay.
No, it was definitely just like, I don't know, man. Like, it's the end of the night. This is on. I have a TV with a sound bar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Sound bars are sick.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be pretty exciting. And
I have a sound bar, but I think it got unplugged, and I don't want to go behind the TV, so I just don't use it anymore.
I know exactly what you're talking about. You're like, it's not working, and I can't fix this. Okay, you know what? That was as good as that could have ever gone. Wait, if he gets every single one, literally, yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
He didn't get, well, he only lost one drone. 8 Hellions. I think.
And that was actually to a Reaper that he lost the
yeah.
drone. Wow, he really wanted to kill that. Damn.
No, I think
Try harder.
To go back to what you were saying, I think that there's something about watching. There's a certain type of bad movie that can be fun.
Yeah.
You know, but it's
Yeah.
like it's not taking itself too seriously, and it's
Sure.
like it's not too hacky. Like it's kind of like when I was a much younger kid, like in high school, I'd be like, "Oh, I don't watch those movies; they're all stupid." I'm like, "No, I can enjoy a kind of dumb movie,
No, I
you
get
know."
that. Yeah,
But no, Kong vs. Godzilla. I actually wish
worst thing that
I
ever
wish the
happened to you
movie
in your
started
life.
up and Godzilla killed everybody and it ended in 10 minutes.
You know, someday someone's going to make a movie like that.
Yeah.
Where you think it's going to be epic and then just everyone, like the main character dies, the movie ends.
It's Psycho, but no movie after the shower scene. It's just a killing.
It's a great idea for a movie, honestly. All right, Baneling speed on the way. Spire 1-1 coming up. A little bit quicker on the 1-1 here for Maru. Very well-timed armory, so he's not going to miss that 2-2. That's one of the biggest flaws we see in Terrans, by the way, is a late armory in Terran vs. Zerg.
Yeah.
It's insane how often we catch people really slow starting their 2-2.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
actually one of the
obviously
most important things ever.
It's very important to be doing it, but yeah, I guess things are going so fast, and sometimes people forget stuff, man. I mean, I know it's happened to everybody. When you come back, you're like, oh my god, I wasn't upgrading, or oh, I didn't make that building.
It's understandable if you lose your armory because you're like thinking about watching Kong vs. Godzilla the night before, you know?
I'm thinking about the fact that the Hollow Earther theory was right in Kong vs. Godzilla, and they still couldn't even make that interesting. It's just...
Wait, is that theory not real?
No, it's real.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, don't worry. We're the right kind of round earthers there.
Because there can't be anything underneath the Earth but hollowness since it's flat, right? So, like, that's when I knew Hollow Earth was real.
Me and our toasts have done jokes about flat earthers and reptilians, and we get at least one tweet from some crazy person. Always different. Like, you know, that's not really that funny, actually.
It's probably not.
Yeah, you're right. It probably shouldn't be. So Terran's continuing to expand out. I think, I'm sorry, Zerg is continuing to expand out, but Terran's doing an okay job taking these fights. We did have that devastating loss with all the Hellions that early on, but it's not that much of a big deal.
No, it hasn't hurt him too badly, but RagnaroK has a wonderful amount of drones right now. He does have his 2-2 on the way, a good amount of mutas on the map. His creep spread is all right. It's not as good as we've seen in some of these other games, but obviously Maru is back to playing Bio, so able to keep that much further back.
Yeah, us getting into a much more common TVZ here. But let's see, Maru's pretty masterful at games like this. Certainly, this is the games RagnaroK had planned to play, by the way.
Yes. He probably was not expecting double mech openers. See, definitely put out a nicer game with this as well. Chasing down these medevacs, but has to turn. Trillion Claw is going to be finishing here for Maru. And the Infestation Pit, that looks like pretty good timing on that, actually.
Yeah.
Can probably go smoothly into his 3-3.
No easy spot to attack in here is Terran. Basically the entire right side of the map is pretty secure as Zerg. Terran will eventually have to find some location to try to hit.
The creep spread getting a bit better as he expands towards the top right. I like that location. 6 o'clock going to be a lot harder for him to hold, rather, with that high ground above it, and then also the creep spread on that side a lot weaker. Maru is kind of expanding down into that area, and based on that sensor tower, I believe he's going to continue to expand to the south rather than to 12. And that should allow him to try to deny the bases of RagnaroK in that area.
Now, it looks like RagnaroK's going to try to hit this area over here. I don't think he should, though. It's too much of a narrow fit to get most of his army through. Now, Terran's going to push here soon, right? Terran's maxed out. I kind of thought we were going to have an attack actually come. Looks like it's going to come through the bottom. For a second, I was wondering if Maru's just going to cut the map in half again.
And just sit with Bio?
Well, that's what I was asking myself.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't seem like it's a very good idea.
No, I think you're supposed to grind him down here. 92 drones for RagnaroK. A lot of Banes out, about 50 Banes. Right, he's clearing some of the creep. RagnaroK needs to make a move, whether it's defensive or offensive. He's coming back defensively. A lot of his creep does get cleared out down at 6. All right, running in with these Lings. This is some big RagnaroK armies being a little bit undecided on how he wants to use them.
Yeah, so far the engagement going pretty well here for RagnaroK. Not that much left to try to take this fight. He does pull away with these Thors. They are actually going to escape. Meanwhile, a big attack up here, but not a lot of room to try to avoid these Banelings.
Yeah, the Banelings look like they will end up connecting as the Widowmine
Wow,
goes
actually,
off on a larva, but it doesn't
I feel
matter.
like that was poorly handled by RagnaroK.
Yeah, sometimes
you don't want everything on one control group.
Yeah, and sometimes like Zergs like to use move command and just let the Banelings as they die do the damage, but sometimes you're actually like allowing a lot more damage out of that. I think he was going to lose that regardless though.
So Zerg's lost the upper right base. Terran stays safe and continues to stretch out on the map. Zerg expands to 6 o'clock as well. A lot of Banes being made to try to, I think, counterpunch in here. Now, Maru's still rebuilding, whereas RagnaroK is maxed out. There's a chance Maru is a little bit weak and could be vulnerable to this attack in a location I think he expects is basically safe because it's walled off.
Maybe.
So let's see how this goes.
He does have that sensor tower there. It looks like he's going to lead the way with the Lings.
This is smart.
And then blow it up. Send in another group here to set off the Widowmine. Coming forward now. That is a lot of Banelings. Could deal quite a bit of damage here to Maru.
Yeah, this is
definitely
going
to get some SCVs.
Oh, I think he could have gotten a little bit more.
Yeah,
I like the setup for the attack. He has just a few Banes blow it up, and then just a few Lings come in, and then the entire army comes in to fight.
Yeah. Little magic boxing going on the Thor. We'll be able to knock that out. Not much more than that, though.
RagnaroK could win this game.
Yeah, I told you you'd take him out.
Another attack coming in here. Enough Lings and Banes. Man, you just cannot touch the ground.
Floor is creep.
Creep lava.
My kids love playing the floor is lava, but when I say it's creep, they scream and run away.
Yeah, they scream because they know Banelings are going to connect and do
well,
splash damage to them.
First thing I taught them is do not step on creep.
I think that things are starting to kind of fall apart for Maru.
Yeah, he's not able to really put aggression on here. He's having moments that are very, very efficient. And you know what? Maybe as we get into Ultras, we can see him fight back here, right? Like he's going to have a lot of Marauders. His micro is very, very good. And if you don't attack with the Ultras correctly, you're going to be in trouble.
All right, now he can get these two bases here. The one on screen and the one just one screen above. He also has an army that's going to be hitting in the northeast. Oh my God, great repair there on that turret.
Slows him down quite a bit. Some Marines coming over, but the Muta's getting a little bit of damage at least. It's 3-3 gonna be finishing up for the melee units. Ultra speed almost done.
Yeah.
Single Ultra coming to fight.
Okay, you know what? I was saying that RagnaroK might win this. I think he's getting a little bit too out multitasked because this base goes down.
He is getting a little bit out multitasked.
And it's funny because you said as the Ultralists come, and even though the Ultralists are supposed to be a superior component to the army, Maru can micro against him.
Yeah, he can start to get very efficient. Ultras are expensive, and you have to attack with them correctly. They're really great defensively.
Dude.
You group them with Lings and Banes.
So sis.
Yeah, Maru picking off yet another hatchery, perhaps. And Marauder's putting out so much damage.
Yeah, and again, he can pick up and escape, and he does it over here. This is the thing about Maru. He's just kind of faster. And,
my God.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, our observer can barely keep up with all the fights that Maru is microing at individually.
He is being so efficient here, but... You know, RagnaroK still has a bit of an economy. Maybe he can clean this up.
I don't think RagnaroK has much of an economy anymore. His minerals are not going up that fast.
He's got a plus 2,400. Yeah, Maru's is way bigger. Oh,
yeah.
Look at him. Well, a lot of that is mules, right?
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, that's money, like, right? Like, he is definitely mining minerals.
It'll mine him out, though, is what I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah, but I think that's even
continue to hang on.
I think it's fine because he can keep growing. I mean, he's hitting the Zerg at so many different locations.
What are you, a gaming CEO? There's no infinite growth here, Tasteless.
I'm a
Eventually
gamer.
you
I'm
run
the
out.
CEO of E-Gaming Artosis. Never forget that. Zerg's going to double Expo down in the bottom, and a third Expo making it a triple back in the upper right. But can he actually hang on to all these? Now a pretty bold and brazen attack here. A lot of Banes. I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to turn around. You can't fight at that planetary against Thor, I don't think.
Well, hold on. He's going to put the Thor
Oh,
back.
a few more Banes coming in right now.
Hold on, hold on. I only see Marauders.
Oh, he actually blows it up. Beautifully done. The Marauders coming back, though.
But he can swap an orbital back in, and, you know, Ultralists are great at pushing in, not so good at retreating. This was a lot of the gas, dude. Look at the gas income right now. Okay, that's gone. I don't know how that died. Maybe it was on screen. It's too much for me to follow. Yeah, he just sort of outpowers him, and immediately he's going down. He scans the upper right, confirms nothing's there.
And he's going to find that there's not much left anywhere here for RagnaroK.
Basically one functional base. Everything else is a target. Here we go again. And
Ultra Ling coming in, but there's not a lot left. 30, 40 army supply left. GG.
Maru just too much. And it's crazy because RagnaroK looked like he was doing so well.
He was doing well until Maru just peeled him apart everywhere at once. Very impressive stuff for Maru. Looking on top of his game.
Well, 3-0. I can't say I'm that surprised, but I am impressed. Look, I think RagnaroK put up a good fight. You can see, like, just like Armani, it's like we've got great Zerg players, but some of them don't quite know how to close it out, and they don't always have the best late game decisions.
Yeah, I think RagnaroK played a really nice game there. Maybe the games against Mech he could have used a little fixing up on, but let's have an interview with Maru now.
Maru of Team NV grabs a 3-0 win against RagnaroK, and he moves on to round of 8. Congratulations. Thank you. First of all, how do you win? How do you feel after winning that? Well, in the finals, after losing to ROG, you know, I kind of took some time to rest, so I feel really happy after beating RagnaroK today. Yeah, today it felt like you were having a revenge match against Zerg, Maru. You went for the fast BC and then you were able to snowball your lead to victory. So what's the background behind your mechanic strategy today? Well, I use the BCs a lot. So today I decided to play everything impromptu. Back when you used to win GSL, you always stick to the same strategy.
메카닉 맞춤이 오버석업이라서 3세트에서는 오버석업을 할 것 같아가지고 바이킹을.
Well, in the third game, it felt like RagnaroK was gonna go for the Pneumatized Carapace.
집요하게 노리셨어요. 마지막 세트를 잡는 핵심 키로 여겼었던 건가요?
원래 뮤탈리스크 상대는
Well, against the Mutalisk,
양방향으로 찢어가지고
it is important for the Terran to attack side to side.
그거 위주로 했던 것 같아요.
And that's why I did that.
네, 이렇게 짧게 오늘 경기 리뷰까지
Well, that was a short review of
아까
tonight's
말씀을
game.
간단하게 해주셨는데 결승 이후
As you said
시작,
before,
이렇게 생각을 하셨다고 하셨어요.
You said you took a rest
지금
after the
멘탈
finals
관리
of
잘
GSL
하신
Season
건가요?
1. So, are you okay right now in terms of mentality?
그 다음 날부터는 그래도 정렬이 형이 잘해서.
Well, after the day of the finals, you know, I came to the realization that ROG just played really well on the day.
자, 그래도 저희는 계속해서 응원하고 있습니다.
But we will
조성주 선수,
continue to
마지막 한마디
root for you,
들어볼게요.
Maru. So anything you want to say before you go?
상대가 스페셜인데.
Well, my next opponent is special.
안 올라와서 이미 4강 갔다만 있는데.
And you know, I'm just so happy that Innovation didn't make it to round of 8, and it feels like I'm already in the round of 4.
네, 조성주 선수가 이렇게 대놓고 자신감을 드러내는
Wow,
건
that's
처음인
some
것 같은데요. 스페셜
confidence
선수와의
there,
경기
Maru.
기대해
And we'll
보겠습니다. 다시
look
한번
forward to your match
축하드립니다.
against Special. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 마지막 8강 진출자 조성주 선수까지 만나봤는데요. 이렇게 오늘 경기 결과와 16강 결과까지 확인해 보시죠.
All right, guys, that's all the time, all the games we have.
It was a wonderful night.
It was
I gotta
great
say.
games, a lot of back and forth, except for the last one. But honestly, even in the last best of 5, the games were close for most of it.
I gotta say, I think Dream Armani was a fantastic series.
Yep.
Innovation Special is my other favorite one. Some strong words coming out of Maru, though.
Yeah.
He's already in that round of 4. Looking at this bracket, wow. Damn, that round of 8 is sick. These are really good matches.
Yeah.
Rogue Zound, SOS Dream, Bunny Trap, Special Maru. There it is.
Yeah, this is a great lineup. It's going to be Monday, 5 p.m. KST.
What do you think? Zound Special Finals?
I think you nailed it. Yeah, I mean, this was a
I would
great,
love
great,
that. I would
great
love
night
that,
tonight. Again, guys, we don't have our normal schedule where it's not special tournament, super tournament, 4 days in a row. So we're going to be back on Monday. We have a few days off here for StarCraft 2. Then we come back Monday and Thursday. Thursday, of course, is going to be the finals.
Yes.
And the round of 4.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah, we have a possibility, by the way, and probably a probability of 4 ex-Jin Air members in their top 4.
That could very well happen, Artosis.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a match there that you're really looking forward to?
I wish they'd throw them back up on screen again. I think, who's SOS playing?
Dream.
Dream, yeah.
That's actually the one I'm looking
for
forward
picking
to.
a final. I'm like,
That
who's
was
SOS playing?
No,
I want to see if SOS can come back and be as strong as he was before.
I love Dream's Terran versus Protoss. I think he's got
Also,
a very sharp Terran versus Protoss, so I think that's going to be a fun
He's a breath of fresh air. My mouth is tired from our long show today. He's a
It's been
breath
long.
of fresh air for Terran players.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be fantastic. That's on Monday, about 4 days from now.
Yep.
It's
And,
been over 5 hours.
It's been a 5-hour day.
Yeah, so that's like, how long was Kong vs. Godzilla?
I think it was 2 hours too long because it was about 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
you
we
could
could've
watch that
watched it
2.5
twice.
times by now.
Yeah, I could have watched it once and then watched it with the director's commentary, so I really could break down.
What would the director's commentary be
Yeah.
like? He's like, yeah, this.
So like here we thought like Kong should like hit Godzilla, but then here we thought it should look like Godzilla's gonna win even though Kong's gonna win, and I'm like, oh.
Did one of them win in the end?
I was drinking during it. I know that I was drinking faster and faster as I was watching. I'm like, this is terrible.
You don't know who won.
No, I know that
You know the
Kong
ending?
won. Godzilla lost.
Godzilla lost.
Kong is so clearly the good guy at the start.
But he's so much smaller than Godzilla, and Godzilla breathes fire. Or lightning
He's
or
not
something.
that much smaller in the movie.
He's not?
No. Although if you know how big Godzilla's supposed to be, yeah. Godzilla was ridiculous. Godzilla was like volcanoes like sizes?
Yeah, yeah. He was
Right?
like
That's a
bigger
measurement.
than the buildings, and Kong like
Yeah.
climbed a building.
Yeah. Not in this, though.
Okay,
No, they
so he
nailed
was-
it. No, they
yeah.
kept it true for the fans. No, don't worry. There was some real fan service back there. I'm
Real
like,
fan
they
service.
kept Kong a gorilla. That was good.
An awfully big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
a very
I was like,
large
good.
one.
I was worried they might make him, a flying bear, but no, they kept that for real. That's all the time we have, guys. We'll see you on Monday, 5 p.m. KST.